Hello everyone, I hope you're all really well, and a big warm welcome to today's SEZANE haul for autumn going into winter for 2025. I have happily shopped the new collection, chosen my favourites, styled them into outfit ideas and how I will wear them in my own real life, and I'm very much looking forward to showing you all the results and hearing what you all think. Don't forget, the best way to support me and my channel is to give this video a thumbs up and a hype, whatever a hype is. And if you're not already, it would be wonderful if you'd like to subscribe. Also, a portion of today's video is very kindly supported by Foreo. I've been using their LED face mask for a couple of months now, so I'm really looking forward to showing you all where my skin is at a little bit later in this video. But for now, let's get showing you some outfits, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you all think in the comments below. Let's begin. Starting with something which I think you'll be quite surprised actually that I chose. However, having now tried it on in a few different ways from my wardrobe, I actually think I'm going to get a lot of wear out of this. And that is this little leather miniskirt that I went for in the black. Now, I must admit, I'd had my eye on this on and off for a few years. It's one of their classic bestseller pieces. But I always, almost default setting wise, said to myself, well, I don't wear miniskirts, so it's pointless me getting one. And then the more I thought about it, and I've got a couple of little mini dresses in my wardrobe, and I thought, why don't I wear miniskirts? What is it with me and something a little bit shorter? So I decided I'll have a go. I'm going to order it. I'm going to style it in a few different ways and see if it's me. And if it's not, I can send it back. And if I like it, I will keep it. And as you will see here in this footage, I think it is very much me, and particularly styled with a pair of black tights. I think that sort of brings it back into my own personal style and just adds another dimension as something slightly different from my outfit ideas, something that I wouldn't usually wear, but actually there's no reason why I shouldn't wear it. I think it looks really nice. So obviously it's made from leather, and equally I think the quality is really, really nice. I think all of SEZANE's leather pieces, both with their jackets and their trousers, are always really, really good quality. It's got a zip at the back, so I would say be careful with your sizing. I went for my usual UK 10, and hopefully you can see in this footage, it's a tiny bit big around the waist. But in truth, I'm not going to send it back because I think with it being a tiny bit big, it sat a little bit lower. And I think partly that little bit lower mini skirt actually is what makes me feel most comfortable. And also I think styling wise, actually, I will probably never be wearing it with anything too tight on my top half or high heels on my feet when I'm wearing a mini skirt like this. I would always dress it down, do a bit of a high-low mix. So as you can see in this footage, I opted for ballet flats and a big chunky knit. Certainly with a jumper that sits about hip bone, that sort of detracts away from it being a super tiny mini skirt. So I am actually really pleasantly surprised by the mini skirt. I think it's a nice addition for my wardrobe. I'm looking forward to finding a lot more different ways of how I would style it, and maybe with a blazer and a little cami underneath, and definitely black tights but slingbacks on my feet. I think that kind of vibe will really work for my own personal style. So on to the second piece I chose at SEZANE, and in truth actually the second this one came out I knew I was going to add this to basket. I didn't even have to think twice about this one, and that was this beautiful chocolate brown bow blouse. So I've talked a lot recently about my love for bow blouses and how often I wear them, and when SEZANE come out with one and it's got their quality that you just know so well is going to be impeccable, well, it's a no-brainer really. So I love the shape of it first and foremost. I really love this drop sleeve that you've got here, and then you've got that gathering sort of coming down the top half of your arm. That's just making a really lovely voluminous shape on the sleeve, and then of course it's gathered in at the cuffs as well. You have got the tie on it, but like I'm styling it here, this is mostly how I wear my bow blouses, just leaving those ties pretty loose. I just like the option that you've got those ties if you want it, to be able to mix up the styling and tie it in a bow or tie it in a knot depending on what you're doing. Now the interesting thing with this particular bow blouse compared to the other ones I've got in my wardrobe is it's been made from 100% virgin wool, but I have to say it actually feels like it's cotton, which in my mind is a good thing. You know, I would probably get a little bit irritated with something that feels like a scratchy wool in something like a blouse, but in actual fact, against my skin, that feels like cotton. It's really nicely done, actually. So here in this styling, I've paired it with a color combination that I personally really love. Do let me know in the comments if you're a fan of this too, but I love chocolate brown sat against navy or any type of blue, actually. So these are actually an old pair of trousers that I've had in my wardrobe for a couple of years maybe. However, again, it's a bestseller shape, so they bring out some variation of it each season. So I shall link a few in the description box below, the new in versions. But I really wanted to show you how, although I know a default setting with a bow blouse like this, for me at least, would be to wear it with a pair of jeans. And yes, that is absolutely going to work and it's going to look great together. However, you don't have to go with that. Something like a pair of tailored wide leg trousers, even in quite a bright navy blue, really works nicely. I would also pair this with grey. I love chocolate brown and grey together. And I was just having a think, maybe with a pencil skirt, I think that would be a really nice contrast of shapes. So going quite voluminous on your top half and quite slimline and straight, like that column of black on your bottom half. I think that will be a nice twist as we move through autumn, winter, and some new outfit ideas I can try out too. Do let me know actually as we go along, which of these are your favorite piece? Which one would you go for? Maybe if you could only choose one, which one would it be? I'll just try and not drop that on the floor with all the snails and the ants. Having to get used to all the bugs here. So from bugs to brilliant gadgets for a minute now, and to an amazing Black Friday deal coming up that I think you'll all love too, with this device I've been using for a couple of months now, the Foreo FAQ 202. Now, if you don't remember me mentioning before, but the FAQ 202 has become part of my skincare routine for the last couple of months as I try and reduce the pigmentation on my skin. So every morning I've been doing 15 minutes of the green light before I then apply all my different serums and creams. And I think, and I hope you'll agree, it is starting to work. Yay! My pigmentation doesn't look as dark as it was before. I feel like my skin looks clearer, and I feel like I finally got myself on the right track. Plus, it's been really easy to use. I'll either do it first thing when I've got my first cup of tea, or a lot of the time actually while I'm working on my laptop, I pop it on. Managed to just about get my glasses on over the top, and I'll just answer a few of my emails. I mean, granted, I do look a little bit funny, but hey, if it works, then I'm definitely all in. So it uses 8 different wavelengths, including NIR, which helps tackle signs of aging, and of course the pigmentation. And that's on top of reducing my wrinkles and my sunspots. And when I'm having angry skin days like today, as you can see, it really helps to reduce that redness and calm your skin down. So for Black Friday, they're doing a huge deal whereby they're offering an extra 35% off almost all products, even if they're not originally in sale. So that means you can end up getting a huge 50% off by using my discount code. So I've added that discount code 35styleedit into the description box below, along with my link. So at the end of this video, please do click through, have a look at all of their products and those amazing deals. And if you so wish, get yourself a huge saving or two. Looking very chic this morning, Jessica. All in the name of a good cause. We shall see. I do think if anyone ever broke in my house, I'm going to quickly put this mask on and run downstairs. They'll never come back. Now, despite appearances today, it has definitely took a bit of an autumnal turn, even in Ibiza here for me, and got a little bit colder. Certainly in the evening time, I definitely feel like I need my knitwear, but also sometimes in the day. I mean, it's windy and quite sunny today, but there have been a couple of days where I felt like literally getting my old puffer coat out. So I was really in the mood for finding some lovely new knitwear that SEZANE, of course, do so very well. And I spotted this beautiful jumper, which I had to add into my wardrobe. I absolutely love it. So this one, as you can see, is quite a classic in shape, done with a cable knit. And I personally really love cable knit because it just makes a really nice texture. But the nice thing about this one is because it's been made from, sorry, the cockerel's in the background. Because it's been made from baby alpaca, it's very soft. I mean, like, gorgeously soft. So although you're getting that lovely texture from the cable knit, you're not getting that chunkiness of a typical cable knit sweater. So you're getting the best of both worlds there with that one. You've got a relatively high neck, kind of like a mock neck here. Definitely not too tight or frustrating, you know, sometimes when they sit a little bit too tight against your neck. And there's definitely enough width there with it, the mane of the jumper, to feel really comfortable, but I wouldn't say it's oversized in any shape or form. So very much much a classic ecru jumper for autumn, winter. And to be honest, in terms of feel, it's absolutely the sort of thing that, you know, when it's been torrential rain here and feeling a little bit chilly, to throw on that really super, super cozy jumper that feels baby soft is definitely ticking a big box for me. So as you'll have seen here with this outfit idea, I've kept the styling very much on an everyday basis throughout autumn or winter. Just adding in hints of tan actually with my shoes and my bag, also my sunglasses as well actually there. That's a very low-key, everyday kind of outfit. But I think when you have that one jumper that just looks incredibly elevated and far more expensive than it actually was it just elevates even the most simple or really low-key outfits that we often wear on a day-to-day basis. So it will be really handy having this particular jumper in my wardrobe. I absolutely love it. I think you can tell it's a really, really special piece that I shall be wearing an awful lot. Now, I'm not sure if you noticed there in that footage, I have a beautiful pair of earrings, which I definitely needed to add into my own collection. I don't know if you remember, a couple of months ago, I added these lovely ones that are gold on the top half, and then you've got the brown stone on the bottom. And I, to be honest, found myself reaching for these almost on a daily basis, as you probably noticed within my outfit ideas on my socials. I love them. They're really, really versatile. So I decided to go for those in the ecru with the gold. I do love wearing my winter white outfits with my knitwear especially, but also when I sort of look in my wardrobe at the different collection of colours that I have, and obviously, as you know, I stick to a lot of neutrals, so I thought that ecru actually is probably going to be even more versatile than going for the brown. One thing I would say that it's probably done as a preventative measure, but the little butterfly clip at the back gets quite stuck, so when you're trying to get them off, it's kind of annoying. You can't pull it out for ages. I mean, mine are moan really. I bought them anyway. These are my second pair now, but I would maybe just switch out that clip. I think it's just catching a little bit on the back. So if you want to be able to get them off a little bit easier than I do, I would just say swap that one out instead. But a really lovely piece of jewelry that I'm very happy to have in my collection, and I know I'm going to get lots of wear out of them. And then staying with accessories for a moment, I decided to add this lovely leopard print scarf into my collection. Now, as you know, leopard print or animal print of any variation is particularly on trend this autumn winter. No big surprises there really. It always kind of is actually every autumn winter. However, for me personally, leopard print isn't something I wear too much. I don't know if you remember actually, I popped into SEZANE maybe a month ago and tried on a little mini dress. It was quite tight fitting in leopard print. And in all honesty, I felt quite uncomfortable in it. It wasn't me, it was way too tight, and I just didn't feel myself. So instead, adding a little hint of leopard print with something like a scarf is kind of the balance I needed, really. It's just a hint. It will jazz up lots of my outfit ideas without feeling out of my comfort zone, or, you know, having to wear something skin tight, or having something really, really contrasting against my hair with, you know, a big leopard print coat. It was just a bit too much for me. But this felt like a really nice balance. In fact, I'm going to mess with the microphone there, but it's very, very cozy. It feels lovely to wear. It's going to be really, really practical. And like I do with lots of my scarves actually, and I show you in this footage, I tend to use them as a pashmina when I'm going out of an evening. So I do find, particularly with leopard print, that works really nicely, say with a lovely black dress. I will be using it in the daytime, and I did think it worked really nicely against the ecru jumper. Thought that was a nice mix, but it's equally going to jazz up some of my everyday basic outfit ideas as much as I could use it practically for the evening as well. One thing I would say, and I'm not sure how much this would have cost to make, it would have been really, really lovely. Icing on the cake had it been made from the same, you know, baby alpaca as the jumper. The wool that they've used, which I believe is a blend of virgin wool, is a little bit rougher, I will admit, than the super soft baby alpaca, but certainly not so rough that it, you know, doesn't feel nice to wear. Just, I think I really noticed it because I was wearing this jumper and then tried on the scarf over the top. So all over really, definitely much more my cup of tea. And for me personally, the way that I will be wearing leopard print this season, something a little bit more subtle. Now, we know lots of you ladies are already big fans of wearing a knitted tank or a knitted vest top. And I must admit, I was very slow off the mark with this one. I tried them a few times before, particularly in M&M actually, and it just didn't feel right. It just didn't look quite right, or maybe at that time I wasn't really in that mode. So when I spotted it on SEZANE's website recently, it was like a new launch of knitwear, and they've brought out some knitted vests in a whole variety of different colors. I decided to have a go and see how I could style it if it actually would suit me. So this is the one I decided to go for in this kind of oatmeal ecru tone. So first of all, I thought I'll play it safe with a color I wear an awful lot. And I must admit, I really, really like it. I've actually surprised myself with this one. I kind of ordered it thinking, let's just try, almost in the back of my mind thinking I might end up having to send it back. And there's no way I'm sending this one back. I love it. So I kept the styling in this one very, very simple, how I would typically wear it. But I'm actually quietly confident I'm going to be able to wear this in lots of different ways. As you all told me, you wear these knitted vests in lots of different ways too. I'm not sure why I kind of held back for so long on them, because I get it now. Maybe it's living here actually that I'm not necessarily ready for a full winter coat yet, but I do often need an extra layer at the moment. So this is a perfect balance. Definitely works with autumn, I get it. So yeah, I really like the fact that they kept the shape quite boxy. I think the length was perfect. I think any longer than that and it would have felt a bit weird. The neck wasn't too tight. It's not sort of pulling anywhere, and it worked really nicely actually, just wearing it with a very classic shirt underneath. I kept the collar really buttoned up to the top so that you could see a little bit of that collar, and shape-wise as well, both at the neck and at the sleeves or no sleeves. I thought it sat really, really nicely. So on my bottom half with this look, I'm wearing my other favorite jeans. These are the slightly, very gently flared denim jeans. And personally, I really like them with this whole outfit because I think you've got so much going on your top half, both with the shirt and then with the tank on the top, that you needed a bit of balance on the hem. And I think that very gentle flare is just enough, really. I think that works really nicely. So yes, pleasantly surprised by this one, and I'm actually quite excited to see all the different ways I will be styling it over the coming months, and no doubt all of you will particularly love this one too. So I shall pop up on screen here all the different colors that it's available in as well, because I mean, I've gone particularly safe with the color, but maybe I'll end up branching out into some of these different colors as well. So thank you actually for convincing me on that one. I think I'm going to get a lot of wear out of that one. So next up to a piece that I totally fell in love with when I saw it online, and when it arrived, panicked and thought, oh no, I've done a fail, it really doesn't fit me. And then started styling it properly and thought, oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. Here we go. Let me show you this beautiful blouse. Now, I know this looks a little bit more colorful for me than what I would usually go for, but that embroidery detail just stole my heart. I absolutely fell in love with it. I just think the detail is just incredible. It looks something very different for autumn, winter, but equally, I knew I could style it in lots of different ways, and it's just very me, to be honest. So it's been made from 100% organic cotton, which just really makes me happy. The amount of organic cotton SEZANE use. Obviously, you've got this embroidery all over the front and the back and the sleeves, going all the way over. I love the colors that they've used. So like I say, it's not like me to go for something quite bright, but it's bright done subtly. And I think that's the difference, and where SEZANE get these kind of pieces spot on. So you've got that really sort of deep terracotta tone there. You have got a little bit of purple, but it really works against the terracotta. And then just brightened with that little pop of yellow, which just always makes me smile, on a base of ecru. So very much my own cup of tea. Down the sleeves here, hopefully you can see you've got that lovely lace trim. They are quite a balloon shape. You've got quite wide sleeves gathered in with a bit of elastic here on the hem, and then again with that little trim of lace on the hems too. So when I first opened the box, the reason why I was panicking was because the neckline is, you know, you gather it in, and it was loose. So when I tried it on, it was just huge on me, and I thought, oh, that's never going to fit. I'm never going to be able to make that work. But of course, you needed to pull the ties, which was, I don't know, it was menopause brain, I think. So not only have I given them a good pull, but I also tied a knot in them, because I personally will never wear it tied up. That's just a little bit too twee for me, I suppose. Not so perfect on that knot. I think I need to redo that one. The lengthwise is great as well. That's really going to work nicely, as I will more than likely be styling it with jeans the majority of the time. So it's not going to ride out or anything like that, which really annoys me. But actually styling wise, rather than my default setting of putting it on with a pair of jeans, I wanted to show you how it could work with something completely different. And picking out that terracotta tone, I paired it with my trousers in a similar color. And I think it actually works really nicely together and feels something very different for autumn. Now, granted, this is autumn for me on a day like today when it's quite mild outside. However, I would equally wear those terracotta trousers with this blouse and pair it with my tan ankle boots, or indeed wear it with my jeans as well. I'm not sure it's going to work with a skirt, but I am going to have a go. Maybe a long white linen one would look nice, and then just wear knee-high boots underneath to keep me a little bit warmer. And actually, another nice idea, so I'm just thinking aloud here, I think this would look really nice with that shearling gilet I've got over the top. That could work in a slight bohemian kind of vibe. So yes, I'm very, very happy that my love for this blouse and then thinking I'd done a fail has gone back to being a love again. I think it's a really beautiful piece and a prime example actually of what SEZANE I think do really, really well. Along with their knitwear, they do make some really beautiful, very original, standout blouses. So very chuffed to have this one in my wardrobe. So which was your favorite piece that I chose? Do you get where I'm coming from when it comes to the leopard print? Do you let me know your thoughts on that super snuggly jumper? And what do you think to the chocolate blouse? I mean, personally, I've totally fallen in love with it, but I'd be interested to hear what you all think. Don't forget, if you found this video helpful, I would be very grateful for all your thumbs up. And indeed, if you're not already subscribed, that would be very much appreciated too. Plus, do take a look at the Foreo device that I'm using and that's really helping my skin. The links, as always, are in the description box below. Big hugs, ladies. Thank you so much for popping by. And if you got this far in the video, then thank you. I'm very pleased to hear you enjoyed the chit chat. Have a wonderful week, everyone. I shall see you on Sunday.